So Sally and I moved up to East Tennessee in the summer of 2023, July, and I thought I'd put together some videos to show folks where we are, so you can see where Dallas and Fort Worth is and where Knoxville is, and that's about 800 miles. And we typically stop in Memphis and spend the night if we're going to drive it, which we almost always do. And our house is actually about 30 minutes, 30 miles from downtown Knoxville. So it's not a bad drive. It's scenic, that's for certain. And if you're curious as to one of the reasons why we moved up here, it only gets up to the high 80s, sometimes 90s during the summer. And it's not too terribly cold during the winter. It gets snow every once in a while. We get rain fairly frequently throughout the year instead of twice. But the scenery, so the weather and the scenery are phenomenal. University of Tennessee, right downtown, right on the Tennessee River. Downtown Tennessee, we've actually been to this theater. This is where we go see the symphony, which is actually very good. Downtown is clean, it's safe, it's got a lot of restaurants, a lot of stuff to do. And downtown during the day. Smoky Mountains we can actually see them, not from our yard, not from our house, but as we drive around here locally, we can look down south and they're visible. And they're about an hour drive from here, and they're just gorgeous pretty much any time during the year. So here's the house. These are pictures taken during or before we moved in. These were realtor pictures, and we're actually looking south. The house faces north, and the house itself, there's nothing spectacular about it, but it's great inside. And so lots of trees, lots of bushes, about 3 acres. This is not mine. That was the previous owner's. And the river runs along back here, so you can barely see it. And this is a view from the back of the house looking north. So the river, it looks kind of nasty right now, but during any given day, they run water through the dam, which is about 15 miles upstream, or about 5 miles upstream. So the water rises and lowers. So it looks kind of icky now, but it's not. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful all the time and clean. Anyway, the river comes down. We're in sort of a loop. It comes down here and loops around and then goes back up this way. And we're at this is the end of the road. So way up here is the road, and it comes way down. So there's only 1, 2, 3. There's only 4 other houses on this road at this end, so very little traffic. We've met these neighbors. They're nice, older couple. I've met this guy. Meh. I've met this guy, and that's about it. Actually, I met one other person, so. So here's the Holston River. Our house is right there. The Cherokee Reservoir is this one here. Big old long reservoir. I've had the boat out on it a couple of times. Very clean. Probably pretty popular during the summer, but we didn't get the boat until October, so I wouldn't know. But to get to the closest boat ramp, we live down here, so we have to go from here. So we're going to measure the distance. So we go way up here, all the way up past Buffalo Springs Wildlife, Tennessee Wildlife Association thing, down. So this is Indian Ridge Road. This is Owl Hole Gap Road. No idea where that came from. All the way to 92, and then down 92 across the dam, and then to the boat ramp. So It's like 3 miles, but it takes about 20 minutes. But it's a pretty drive. Everything out here is pretty. That's the thing about it. So you can see sort of the river path. Again, this is right up in here is an area or a boat ramp. So this is the plan at some point to put a boat, canoe, kayak, something, and then float our way down the river at least once. So I forgot that to tell yous that the Holston River, which runs sort of southwest, way down here, right outside of Knoxville, joins with the French Broad River right here at the junction, and that becomes the Tennessee River. So I had no idea that the Tennessee River started in Knoxville, but there you go. And this is what the river looks like during the summer. Right now it's all the way up. It's about 10 degrees cooler when you're down there by the river than it is when you're up by the house. It's nice to sit down there with a fire because there's no lack of things to burn. This is a little bit further down the river. I think it's close to a place called Indian Cave. So there's a big long story that I'll go into about that. It's an interesting place, but it's closed up now. So that's it for this video. In the next one, we'll take a look at some of the other things that we've been up to, Sally and I.